What is up everybody, my name is Josh and welcome back to the Game Bros channel. Rainbow Six Siege is about to enter its third season in its 6th year since release, and with this in mind, I wanted to ask you guys something that's been heavy on my mind. This is a question for anyone, and what I mean by that is it doesn't matter if you've played Siege religiously all the way through or whether you've taken breaks to play other games, but ultimately, what is it that makes you keep coming back to Siege? For months, I've spent time away from Siege for no other reason than I've just been busy and I've had other things to play. But throughout this whole time, there's just been this itch that I couldn't seem to scratch. Something inside me that just wants to drop everything I'm doing and absolutely no-life Siege to get my competitive fix, even though for the most part it just makes me want to smash my PC into a million pieces. With that said, I gave in, and with the news of a new season on the horizon, I recently decided to jump back into the game again and see what's changed. I spent a lot of time in Siege playing all the way back from the beta, but it wasn't really until years 4 and 5 that I really started to take the game seriously and raise my competitive edge. This was a time when something clicked with me that I'd never felt in any other game before. Never once had I felt like I couldn't put a game down or leave it alone for a short break, at least not with an FPS anyway. Rainbow Six Siege for me just seemed like the perfect combination of requiring competitive individual skill but also heavily focusing on team dynamics in order to win the rounds out. It's impossible to explain to someone who hasn't experienced the moment-to-moment rush of clutching out a 1v5 in a round you just weren't destined to win. Or on the other hand, throwing a game last minute that you were sure to win all the way through, which only ends up in heartbreak. This for me is what always draws me back into this game. It's the moment-to-moment gameplay that for me I just can't seem to replicate anywhere else. Historically, a huge deciding factor of whether I lose interest in a game is how repetitious it is, which yes, you could argue, Josh, that's exactly what Siege is, it's repetitious, and that is all true, but in a totally different way. I don't think in all the years I've spent playing Siege that I've ever had a round play out exactly the same way as the last, or if that does happen, then it's an incredibly rare moment. You're given so much choice and so many options when it comes to each round. So many different angles to play, tactics to use, and this only gets better with time. In Siege, the more you learn, the more effective you are in a round, and the more fun you have, and the cycle goes on. In fact, learning could be the exact core of why I love Siege as a whole. The fact is that the learning never really stops. Whether you're a streamer that plays for 12 hours a day or a casual 9-to-5 worker, you'll never stop learning. With each learning curve, Siege allows you to play a different dynamic, and it allows you to get as deep into the game as you want to. A prime example of this is watching pro players, champions, diamonds set up a site and execute a defense against perhaps watching other players of my skill level and perhaps your skill level do the exact same thing. Both of these setups and execution will have the same goal and strive to achieve the same outcome, but ultimately they're played out at extremely different dynamics. I strongly believe that the core value that keeps bringing me back to Siege is the thirst to improve my knowledge, which thus enhances my gameplay, which in turn heightens my enjoyment of the game and keeps bringing me back. With that said, that does bring us to the end of the video, guys. A short one today, but I'm genuinely curious when it comes to this topic, so please do let me know down below what does keep bringing you back to Siege. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, please remember to subscribe for more content just like this. Leave a like on the video to guarantee your next ace, and that's all from me. You take care.